Before coming to my paper, I want to remember and pay my tributes to the late Dr. H.K. Cole, the founder director of the Delnet and NACLIN also. I had a privilege of discussions with Professor Cole regarding the future of library and library profession, and I remember some of his thoughts are still valid today. In fact, his dream was to transform especially public library into knowledge center, and Dr. Sangeeta Kaul and her team members are trying to fulfill that dream. I wish all the best to them. Let me come to my paper now. For the last 2 days, we have been talking about the impact of technology in general and AI in particular on the librarians and LIS profession per se. I really, when looked at whole scenario, I thought that are we getting swayed by the technology alone? Have we lost the basic thing, LIS as a profession? There is a science part. Perhaps technology is eroding that science part, and we should look at that aspect also, because while adopting technology, developing new skills, we cannot forget the science part of this LIS profession. So I will try to take a different route to look at the LIS profession. So let me start. Science. Everybody may be wondering why I'm talking about science. The science suffix is nowadays added to any discipline when it expands too much. For example, we have got environmental science, mathematical science, data science. It has gone beyond the basic mathematics to become mathematical science. So same thing is happening in library science also, but science has got one particular feature that it goes through 3 phases of development, what is called amateur phase, academic phase, and professional phase. If we take the natural science, the amateur phase was 1600 to 1800, then academic phase from 1800 to 1940s, and professional phase 1940 onwards. Now same thing applies to LIS development path. If you look back, the Melville Dewey's School of Library Economy, the starting of American Journal, ALA establishment, etc., 1880s, that was amateur phase, we can say. Then the second phase of academic credit goes to S.R. Ranganathan, starting with his book on 5 libraries of science in 1930s and other developments. Then 1960s documentation science, and with ICT support, we started with information science. So the science which is put with library information is justified if we go by the definition of science. Now, even today, there are debates and discussion whether LIS is really science or library science versus information science and so on. The reference given, which is in my paper also, is the latest one, which is reviewing this debate and discussion, taking a comprehensive view of what is library science, what is information science, where they meet, where they differ, etc. So this is very important part I am trying to put before you, that if you look at this, then only you can assimilate the information technology, including AI, with maximum advantage. So the definition of LIS I have taken from this paper is that it falls between social science and computing, means people and technology. Nowadays, we are adding technology part more, but people, don't forget the people, means the users, and the service providers, LIS professional itself. So LIS forms a unique discipline because of its systematic handling of manifested information, encompassing infrastructure like libraries and technologies, and interaction with the information speakers. That is its core. That is all is available in the literature. Now I'm trying to take a different look at this LIS profession or LIS subject or discipline from a systems perspective. And what is this systems perspective? I'm taking a model from the former Director General of NIC, Professor N. Sheshagiri. He has put this model in his book, Fountainhead of Sciences. Please take a look at this. He has given a general framework to look at any subject within these 15 elements. Top, you take system can be replaced by physics, chemistry, biology, that he has done in the book, and how this subject can be studied as a scientific subject, making combination of those 14 elements below that. The whole discussion is there in the book. In my paper, I have given a summary. So this is a starting point for my analysis of LIS in this framework. So I have put at the top infosphere. That is what is the subject or object of our study. And at the basis, I am taking the 5 elements or components. Content, that is the key part. In physics, it could be electrons, atom. In chemistry, it could be ion. In biology, something different like that. So likewise, I have given the 5 basic elements, then their combination of structurality, exclusivity, then third layer is roots, means networks, grading, multiplicity, and like that. In my paper, all the discussions about this combination is given, so I'm not spending my time here, but I will just concentrate on 3 examples of these combinations. The first one, say, I given chance and order. At the bottom, you'll find those 2 elements. I'm giving an example of that, and that is very interesting example from LI's point of view, librarian's point of view. Chance and order. On left-hand side, you will find the book by Marshall McLuhan, the father of communication, modern communication. The title of the book, you can read, the medium is the massage, right? It was not like that. The original title was medium is the message, right? By printing mistake, it got like this. So Marshall McLuhan should have discarded that lot and should have made publisher to reprint again. But no, Marshall McLuhan retained this title, because on second thought, he says, by chance it has happened, he says, the media is massaging our sensitivities, right? And if you break it, now we are getting into mass age. So the chance and order, which are the basic elements in defining the infosphere, can be used in different way. That's why I'm saying it is very important thing like that. This is the original cover and this is the new edition's cover. This book became the bestseller in 1967, and it is still worth reading that book. The entire writing style is, you cannot imagine how to write a book if you read this book. Paragraphs are curvy. Sometimes you have to use the mirror to read the material. It's like that, you know, it was something extraordinary, but by chance it has happened. So in information, chance also plays a very important role that I will elaborate further. Second, I am discussing about the transmission and mutability. See, we are using electronic circuits, etc., but something can go wrong. So information or a message can get distorted, right? That is the mutability. It cannot remain as, which is when we send across the telecommunication media. So combination of transmission and chance is likely to happen on any messaging system. To minimize that mutability, Shannon and Weaver developed the theory of information, theory of communication, another classic book of 1949. So whole of this digital network is using basically that theory to make it, ensure it that mutability doesn't happen. Then other three elements I'm taking root, exclusivity and structure from that diagram. So that's why mutability is possible. We have to achieve the security of the digital network nowadays. That is a prime concern. Root selection, that's why become very important to maintain the structurality and exclusivity of information. That means designing hardware, software, protocols is imperative, and even development of blockchain, everything related with these three elements of root, exclusivity and structure. So I just given you 3 examples from those 15 elements. You can read the remaining thing, they are discussed there. Now let us come to the implications and actions. Keeping in view that diagram, the elements of variety, mutability and revolution are linked to the unfolding of internet and web technologies that has influenced the modern library services. So we had web 1.0, means read only or one-way communication to push the information. Then web 2.0, two-way communication portal. 3.0, AI-based one-to-many communication. And web 4.0, IoT-based wider communication. And correspondingly, we have got library 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. We adopted that to get into that. So again, it is related to those elements of variety, mutability, and revolution in that diagram. Further implications are like this. Transmission of information can meet an opposing force. It is called ontological friction. Please note that this is a very important term. It means we have to maintain the exclusivity and avoid mutability. Erection of firewall in the digital network is example of building that friction. One research area is there. Can we quantify the ontological friction? Some of you can take up this research, which is very challenging. Then assimilation was the element. It is defining the roots and grading in the infosphere pyramid. For instance, accumulated and graded information on a given topic can flow to the consumer by routes such as books, scholarly articles, blogs, newspapers, and other networks. The element of setting at this level shows an ecosystem of graded and multiple form of documents. A special library is an example of that. A modernization of such libraries and national archives needs particular attention in that aspect. So these are some of the implications and action points. Now, this was the starting point of my analysis. I want you to take it further. Take this two-dimensional triangular pyramid, convert into new designs. It is not hard and fast. You can define it in different ways. And now you have to add AI dimensions. So what I'm saying, new forms could be tetrahedron, 3-dimensional pyramid, which is shown in the first two. Means just reverse this chandelier into 180 degrees. So 3D, you can do like that. You can have a cubical structure also. The system could be like that. So you can have different dimensions. So number of elements will increase. When you make it 3-dimensional, number of elements will increase, and that will really enrich your librarianship. It is a big challenge, but also new research area is opened up if you look at LIS from scientific point of view using system framework. And add the AI dimension to this framework also. This is another challenge. And as we have come to AI, impact of AI we like to take, popular chat GPT thing, but what it can do is inhabit original human thinking, drafting and summarizing skill, which has been discussed. Are these skills vanishing? That is the thing. So how to keep them in working condition is very important. That's why the library, museums, archives will play important role. They will not, they will have to play this role in a greater responsibility. And now I am taking AI to look it from different lens. Convivial tool. This term is not so common, but it is not just convenience. Convenience with responsibility. That is what is important. So whatever technological tool we are trying to adopt in the library, analyze it from, is it a convivial tool? And the principle of conviviality is that it should promote human values of independence, emancipation, and healthy social interaction. There is a famous book by Ivan Illich, Tools for Conviviality, 1973 publication. Basic question is, who controls whom? Right? Your mobile is controlling you or you are controlling mobile? Just ask yourself. Okay? And this is that book. He has taken very, you can say, rudimentary tools and examined it from this conviviality principles, like that. So if this book is not in your library, please add this. The core of the conviviality is like this. Any technology or tool impacts us in two stages or two distinct phases. In the first go, technological advances offer appreciable remedy or solutions to our vexing problem. Very good, welcome. But in the second phase, technology becomes so complex and institutionalized that the common person has to accept it without understanding its basic and functional mechanism. Right? You can imagine the tools, they have become so complex. So according to Illich, a tool or technology is convivial if it satisfies following three things. It can be used or chosen unreservedly, is an active articulation of personal life, and is not controlled by some professional elite or vendor. Just think of what is happening in the library. Are our tools or technology following this criteria? Now, if we analyze AI basis of these three criteria, AI is not a convivial tool because it is basically designed for dehumanization. Understand? Convivial tool wants to humanize everything. It is exactly doing opposite thing. But we cannot control AI, right? As a librarian, technology goes on its own path. What we can do, can we adopt those tools which can be really made comprehensible? Technology which we are using should become comprehensible, and the AI experts, AI developer also understood this principle, and that's why the development of XAI, explainable artificial intelligence, is a very recent attempt in that direction. Means it will be, whenever you get a, give a query through your prompt engineering thing to machine, AI will give the output, and then it will also give complete explanation how the machine has reached to that conclusion. Complete logic it will give in very simple term a man can understand. So AI's professional should look at whatever AI product or service is being offered. Is it based on this explainable artificial intelligence? If it is so, so you are very clear what biases have gone there, what kind of algorithm, what kind of assumptions were made to reach that output. Today it is a black box kind of thing. It gives you and get the result. There is no in between how that result was obtained. So XAI based tools should be encouraged. And the thing is happening like this. Since we don't have that XAI, we are in this infosphere filled with misinformation, disinformation. Misinformation is slightly a softer term, means there is a mistake in transmitting information. It may not be done intentionally. It may be due to the transmission system error. But this information, on the other hand, is created with specific intention. Understand? The propaganda or advertisements, they are kind of things, social media, trolling, all these kind of things happening is disinformation. So as a LIS profession, you take the LIS profession should take the help of AI tools with XA feature to filter out what is misinformation, what is disinformation, how that distortion got introduced in the whole process. That will be most welcome. And the criteria for disinformation, particular web is authenticity, accuracy, objectivity, and so on, like that. So you should be very careful using this kind of criteria to put in either misinformation, disinformation, and so on. Now coming to the last part, since this is on competence and skills session, I am linking it with the skills and competencies based on that system framework. We must distinguish these two terms, though they are used intermittently. Skill is precise and definite abilities, either hard or soft skills like that. And using those skills, you build your competencies, means demonstrated ability to apply knowledge, techniques and attitudes to achieve the observable goals. And on that basis, requisite of LIS competencies I have listed here: infosphere management, situation specific, reference and user services using all these new tools, technological knowledge including AI, all aspects of that, data and records preservation, lifelong learning and continuing education, and information ethics handling. So your new task, something like this: increasing the credibility of an infosphere using the combination of all those 14 elements. Do not cause distortion in information, prevent its entry, eliminate if it has happened, identify and use the convivial tools, and develop critical thinking. These are the LIS professional tasks in your area. In the end, I will like to say that you will have to facilitate Homo sapiens becoming Homo Siberians, right? So explore system perspective to further the LIS theory and practice. Use high-tech, high-touch tools to upgrade the LIS services. Thank you very much.